Hello, how you doing? So today I'm going to be cooking this meat, which is camel meat, with a really beautiful rice. It's really got loads of flavour, that rice. So camel meat, probably not available in many parts of the world, or maybe where you are. Where I live, it's available, fairly readily available actually. If you just treat it like beef, you know, it's quite beefy in a way. You need to cook it a bit longer than beef. It can be a bit chewy. So what we're going to do is we're going to pressure cooker it out with some lovely spices. Then we're going to pop it into the oven, make that lovely rice. Job done. It's beautiful. Welcome back to How to Cook Great. Okay, so I've got 1.7 kg of camel meat there. There's 4 pieces, each piece, large piece of meat and bone. Okay, so we're at the pressure cooker now. I'm going to pressure cook this, get it really nice and tender. Let's get our meat first and put it in. So you can see each piece, it's very chunky with one bone in. To that I'm going to add some salt, like a teaspoon of salt, a couple of bay leaves. Here I've got like a teaspoon of peppercorns and cloves and 4 green cardamon, and then here I've got a whole dried black lime that's going to go in. We're going to add water. The pressure lid's going to go on. Once it gets to pressure, I mean all pressure cookers are very different, but once it reaches pressure, I'm going to let it go for about 8 or 9 minutes. Okay, there you go, that was about 9 minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to take the meat out. We're going to separate the meat to the water, but keep the water. We're going to need the water, you know, because we're going to cook our rice with that. It's got some really lovely flavors in it. Now, if you don't have a pressure cooker, you can just boil this away. You can see that bone's really showing now as it's really nice and tender. Yeah, if you don't have a let me just grab that. If you don't have a pressure cooker, you can just boil this in a pan, but it will take quite a long time, like an hour or something in total. So yeah, keep all of that water. Let's move on. So the meat on the left hand side, as you can see, the camel meat. What we're going to do with that, that's going to go in the oven and be roasted a little bit. On the right hand side, the water that we cooked it in. Now, the water that I took out, which has got lovely flavors in it, there was 4 cups in total. We need 6 cups, so I've topped that up with 2 cups of water. So we're going to use 3 cups of rice, 6 cups of water. So to make the rice, we're going to need the following. We've got 2 cups of fresh tomato there, cut nice and small. Try and use a nice ripe juicy tomato. 1 cup of onion, 1 tablespoon of garlic, 1 teaspoon of green cardamom powder, and 1 teaspoon of turmeric. Here I've got about half a cup, it's actually 135 grams of tomato paste. One of those little kind of Tetra Pak things, you know what I mean? 135 grams. Okay, let's get to the cooker. We're going to start with some olive oil. So you're going to need a large pot or a pan, obviously. In there I've got some olive oil. I've got 4 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to start off by dropping in the 1 cup of onion, the 1 tablespoon of garlic. I'm going to add some black pepper, nice pinch of that, and the same with salt. We're on, I've just put the heat on now, we're on an above medium heat. We're going to go for 4 minutes. So 4 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 cup of onion, 1 tablespoon of garlic, bit of salt and pepper. 4 minutes later, fabulous. Now we're going to get those 2 cups or 2 kind of regular sized tomatoes. We're going to get them in there along with the 1 teaspoon of turmeric and green cardamom powder. We're going to go for about 5 minutes now. We want those tomatoes to break down. Now what I want you to do now is I want you to get your oven on. Preheat your oven and get it nice and hot, because, here we go. I've now put the meat, let me just check the camera, I'm not even sure if you can see that. Yeah, just about. So I've just put the meat into a roasting tin and I've put a bit of olive oil on it. So get your oven nice and hot and then pop that in. It's going to go in for about 8 or 9 minutes. You can see those tomatoes have really broken down nicely. We're now going to go for that ½ cup of tomato paste, or 135 grams, from those little Tetra Pak things. And again, we need to cook this out for about another 4 or 5 minutes on this fairly lively heat. While that's happening, I'm going to wash 3 cups of basmati rice. Beautiful. Okay, here we go. I've got 3 cups there of rice that I've cooked. Nice basmati. And with rice, it's a bit like wine. Cheap rice is cheap rice. Do you know what I mean? So try and buy an expensive one. The one that I use is actually called India Gate. I don't know if that's available where you are, but that's the one that I like the most. Now what we're going to do is we're not going to put any liquid in this yet. We're actually just going to cook the rice for another 5 minutes here, stirring pretty much all the time. Okay, we're going to add liquid now. So we've got 3 cups of rice. So we're going to add double the amount of water, which is 6 cups obviously. And in it all goes, and you'll see as well all of the bits and pieces, the bay, the lime, everything from the cooking, the peppercorns. Right, we're gonna get this to boiling point, then we're gonna lower the heat. I'll stick the lid on, and that's gonna cook out beautifully. And right now I'm gonna pop the meat in the oven and roast that. So really high heat of the oven, maximum heat. Yeah, about 8 or 9 minutes. Okay, I've just turned off that rice. It's going to be beautiful. It'll be quite sticky. Look at that, really lovely stuff that is. Really lovely. That's cooked to perfection. Like I say, quite a sticky rice, but really, really full of flavour. What we're going to do is we're going to get a bed of that onto a plate, and then I'm going to grab the camel meat from the oven and place it on top. There you go, I've plated that up. That's on quite a large plate. That really is super tasty. Right, let me get over to the oven. Absolutely fantastic. So bed of rice, the roast meat on the top, and then I just put a little bit of cilantro or coriander on there. That's really beautiful. If you want, you can get some fried onions on there, or get some sort of roasted almonds or something like that. Would be fantastic. But yeah, really simple. That rice is really, really tasty, by the way. Hope you enjoyed that. Please do take time to leave me a comment. I do actually read as many comments as I can and get back to you. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications. I'll see you soon. Lots of love. Okay, I just cut it up. It came off the bone really beautifully. You can see the bones just there. And you can see the meat. It kind of looks more like lamb, doesn't it? It's not, it's kind of lighter colour, but yeah, it's really delicious. Let me taste some. Really good.